Welcome to Heart Magic Wisdom. Today I want to talk about why it is so hard to achieve the things that we want to. Why it is so hard when you have an idea in your head to actualize it, to follow through, to get to the end of it. And there are several reasons. Let's take the following example to explore the general idea. So let's say we are at home and we have some free time and we have the impulse or the idea to write a song and to record it. And now the easiest way through would just be to use the instruments and the stuff that we have at home, the recording stuff that we have at home. And now let's say, for example, you haven't done this before. This is a new kind of idea, but you're already a musician. Then now maybe you have a guitar at home and no real recording equipment except maybe your phone. And now this original idea to record a song is technically possible. You could record a song with your iPhone, but there are many more ideas now being generated at the same time. Well, you could also buy a better guitar, you could buy a better microphone. And so now this original idea spawns all sorts of new ideas, and now it's really hard to find out which ideas to follow and which ideas to discard. So if you were to follow your original plan, now you just have your phone and you have your guitar and your voice. Now you could technically just come up with a song, and since you have no software, nothing, you don't know how to use the software, you would have to use the voice memos app and record it in one take. So why don't you just do this? You don't do this because of the many different options that were just created for you. And you could install a different app on your phone. You could buy new equipment. You could get inspiration from some videos on YouTube about how to write a song. So now it's like you have 100 different children inside of you who all have different plans and they all want to do different things. One child wants to research, one child wants to learn a software, and so on. But you only have one body, and this one body must be the executing vehicle for these actions. So now, whose turn is it? Which child gets to actualize itself? And because you have so many children inside of you who want to actualize themselves, they all want to grab the controller and do something. And now you have the problem that no child can really do its thing because one child gets the controller and this child now wants to just do the simple thing and write a song and record it in one take, which is possible right now. And then that child's idea would be finished. But can this child have the controller? Can this child have access to your body for like 1 hour in a row to do what it wants? Usually it can't. And especially if you get like some roadblocks, like you start writing a song and then you don't have any more idea how to continue, you struggle a little bit, then it's especially hard to keep following through because there's another child inside of you who just thinks, well, see, you're not getting ahead, let me take control of the thing. So because you're not doing anything, see, you're not progressing on the song, on the recording, so now let me take over and I will just research some musical equipment in the meantime. But then that shuts off the original child with the original plan of just writing a song today and recording it. So now this is on hold. And then maybe something else gets in the way later. So a friend calls, you go outside, you have made plans before, and now what you have done in this afternoon, instead of actualizing one child's great idea, and the child now has this has had its idea being followed from beginning to the end. Instead of this, now you have spawned new children with unfinished ideas. So now you have more internal chaos. And another thing on this is also that this child was a smart child. It had an idea that was not that big. You know, it could have also said, well, I'm the child and I want to be the world's biggest musician. And then now it's kind of impossible, but it's still like an internal wish. And yeah, or something in between could be, I want to rent a recording studio and I want to find someone else who can play bass on this track for me. And now these goals are way too big and now you can't follow through. And this is another problem. But in this case, this child was smart about it and you could have done it. So in this example, we can see these two big blockades. Namely, it's hard to be in control for long enough to follow through on an idea before like the context switches, before like somebody else, some other part of you takes over. And the second one is most of the ideas are too big and you can't do them. You know, for example, I could have set my goal for this video much bigger. I could have said, well, I want to have no mistakes. I want to have 0 cuts in the video. I want to have good lighting and I want to have a better background. And all that would do is just that the video won't get finished. If the goal is too big, then you won't do it. You have to do something that's actually doable in a reasonable amount of time, like in a day or something. And then, you know, there are also parts of ourselves that sabotage the other parts intentionally. Like you want to record a song and this aspect of you that wants to record the song is a child that's just happy and it wants to express itself. And then there's another part of you maybe that says, well, it doesn't sound like this artist that I like, or you don't have, maybe you should warm up your voice first. So this, maybe don't do it right now, or, you know, just so many things related to perfectionism where it's just not good enough now. Maybe you should just record it tomorrow because tomorrow you would maybe you slept more before, or maybe there's better weather and then maybe you're in a better mood. And these are just kind of under the umbrella of perfectionism. And so many people, I think most people who haven't done a lot of artistic work have this problem, and you have to battle it out with yourself because it's just how we were raised. It's just the planet that we are on. We are not free spirits here mostly, and even if you are somewhere a free spirit, it's so hard if you're born in this culture to get to a point where you can be free in your artistic plans and in the things that you want to do. And I say this because it was like this for me, and it's like this for all of the people that I know who make, for example, music or films or other things. We are our own problem. It's a fight of us against ourselves. I mean, what's the real obstacle to writing a song or recording something? It's that we can't get ourselves to do it. We can't get ourselves to finish it. And the only way that I know is to just do it a million times and set smaller and smaller goals so you actually finish the entire process. Because, for example, in this case, the process is you have to have an idea, then you have to somehow finish it, and then you have to upload it to the internet or show somebody, and then that's one iteration. And if you have this idea, and let's say the idea is too big, it's like an idea for an entire album, and you haven't even released a single song yet, then now you are just deluding yourself. It's never going to happen this way. You're choosing a complicated way. You are not following the simple intuitions. You are intentionally aggrandizing yourselves to be this person who can do it. And it's now about achieving this goal that others like, or maybe you would also like, but it's just not how a free spirit would do it. I mean, maybe it is how you would like it because you've seen other artists do it, but you're not in their position. You are in your position, and you have to just do a little bit every day to get a little bit further than where you are in the direction of where you want to go. So, okay, maybe if you recorded 10 prize-winning albums, sure, then maybe you can do it. But if you haven't done this, just you need to stick with what you know and then improve a little bit, because anything else just doesn't work, and it takes time. And yeah, so I've spent so much time making music, and for me this was one of the biggest spiritual lessons on how to live life. And so this is really a big teacher for me, just this entire process of, with all the elements of who do I want to be, what do I like, what don't I like, which instruments do I like, which harmonies do I like, which melodies do I like, how can I get from here to there. If the goal is to make a song, you can always make your project too big so you don't finish it. And you will see, if you do these projects that are too big, you won't finish them. And you need to balance this with projects that are small enough so that you do finish them. And just train your system to execute the ideas that you like, that are nice, and create momentum. And yeah, so the alternative is to just not have new experiences. The alternative is to want to do something for 2 months now and you don't do anything because you're still in stage 1 in your head, in the idea world, where you think about how you could maybe do all of it, and you're not starting, you're not writing, you're not, I mean, it doesn't have to be music, it could be other things as well, but as long as you're in this idea world, I mean, so many people, you meet them like 2 months later, 3 months later, 5 months later, and they're still talking about the same idea and they haven't done anything. And if this doesn't annoy you, I mean, cool, but don't you want to get some new problems instead of having the same problem? Personally, I really want new problems. I don't want the same problems. And by this, I mean, I want the old problems to be solved, and then I want new problems. All right, I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.